Okay, FightHype.com, Shawn Porter. Really happy to be here with the great boxing mind, my man Max Kellerman. What's up, Max?
What's going on? How you feeling?
Good, man. Crawford Porter is obviously what we're all here for. A panel of 20 experts were picked by the ring to pick the fight. All 20 picked Crawford. Mm-hmm. Is that out of whack in your mind, or how do you see this fight?
No, I think that reflects the conventional wisdom, which is two excellent fighters. One is considered like a pound for pound type guy, and the other is not quite that. I'll just point this out to people. Errol Spence is tall, rangy, southpaw. Can beat you just on the jab and defense, did it to Mikey Garcia. But doesn't usually do that. Is aggressive, has punching power in both hands. He's quick for, considering that package. He also throws a high volume of punches, is an accomplished body puncher, has great stamina, takes a shot, a lot of heart. Like, show me where Errol Spence, where there's a real obvious gap in his game, right? That fight with Shawn Porter was a classic welterweight fight, and the difference was a knockdown late in the fight. Otherwise, that fight could go either way. Mm-hmm. So, if people are just thinking, Shawn Porter, it's just a little obstacle. No, Shawn Porter is capable of beating anybody. He's capable of winning this fight. And when you think of guys like Crawford with a lot of classical skill, I think of Floyd and Maidana. The way sometimes past that is an awkward fighter where the punch is not coming where you're expecting it, right? That can be Porter, who also brawls when you want to box, boxes when you want to brawl. He's a high IQ fighter, in fact, and he's gotten smarter as his career goes on. Mm-hmm. The one thing about Crawford that I'll talk about today is when I think of a Holyfield type, just the kind of guy who's just going to give you hell, right? He's going to give you hell, even if you beat him. The only guy Holyfield didn't give hell in his whole career, the guy who just went through him, was James Toney, because he had that very precise placement, especially of the body punches, and he just cut through Holyfield and really destroyed him. If Crawford can pull that off, then he can maybe stop him or have his way, but Porter, to me, he ain't going out like that. To me, this is a bell-to-bell war.
Crawford, it's been since really the Jeff Horn and the Postal fight that he's really got up on those legs, and he's been standing in front of guys fighting. Do you think that's what he does with Shawn, or he gets back on those legs?
No, I think as Larry Merchant once said, people talk about boxer-puncher, and he talked about puncher-boxer, meaning, he has well-rounded skills, but the emphasis is on the offense. Mm-hmm. Terence Crawford went as a lightweight from boxer-puncher to an older, bigger fighter, welterweight puncher-boxer. He still has skills, but he's more interested than ever in really initiating the offense and beating you up. But the exchange is you get hit a little more.
Who's closer to still being at their peak at 34? Max?
It's impossible to tell because we haven't seen Crawford in a minute, and last time we saw him, he was getting tagged pretty good by a guy in Calviasis who not setting the world on fire. But then again, maybe you fight up or down to your level of opposition, and he's a solid fighter. But based on that fight, if that's the only thing you knew about Crawford, who knows who wins the Porter fight, right? Mm-hmm. So it's hard to say. And Porter's had a couple fights where you go, the other guy really won. Ugas, you say, well, you got lucky there, or who was it? It was
Joel Diaz.
No. I'm thinking about the one British fighter who Golovkin broke. Kell Brook. Mm-hmm. Now Kell Brook was at his best. That might have been his best fight, right? Against Shawn Porter. He beat him clean. He beat Porter clean, but otherwise, Shawn he's giving everyone hell. He's giving them hell.
Do you lean either way towards who will win the fight?
I lean towards Crawford.
Stoppage?
No, I think, but I lean toward Bud. I think he'll win the fight, but you just like boxing history shows, when you have a guy like Shawn Porter, you count him out at your own peril.